Can you guess what ended up in my shopping bag? These Animal Crossing sets are all the rage, so let's explore Isabelle's house visit and see what we find. So I'm kind of surprised. For such a small set, there's actually 6 bags and then this large base plate that came with it. So lots of things going on, and we're going to start with Isabelle, which she has a really sweet little face, and it's a lot bigger than I anticipated that it would be. Put her little body on. She's got these nice pale yellow pants that are, pants that go over her little skirt, but they're shorter. They're the shorter legs. They're not a full normal length. Oh wait, she gets a little bow in her hair. Look at that. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I am new to the world of Animal Crossing. My girls have been in it for a long time, but I have to be honest, I was kind of more of a Mario or even Call of Duty kind of girl. So this is a bit of a new adventure building this set. I was familiar with parts of it because my girls have played it a lot as they were growing up, but it just looked so adorable, and everybody was, looking for them. So I thought, well, let's see what all the rage is about. It looks like we're making a little garden here. So we'll have to see. I know that you do a lot in your town. You go around and do a lot of stuff. One of my daughter's favorite versions is when she gets to be the mayor of a town. So she plays that one a lot. And I believe in her world, Isabelle is actually the mayor's assistant. I'm not sure who she is in this set, but I guess she could be whatever you wanted her to be. But I've been trying to learn as much as I can about it. It sure does look like fun. But I was really surprised at how many people actually showed up at the store on March 1st, and they were looking for these sets. And they had a lot of them, but they were going really fast at our store. It looks like we're building a little something for tools. So we have a little acorn. I'm not sure if that's what that is, if it's a form of currency or if it's just an acorn. And then we have a shovel. I know you can dig up fossils with that. I'm not sure what you do with a hammer. And I do know that the slingshot is for shooting down the floating presents, so to speak, which I think there's one of those in this set. There are a couple little parts built with bag 1, and we're on to bag 2. Alright, it looks like we get to build the second minifig of the build. And according to the box, this is Fauna, I believe is how you would pronounce it. Oh, pants are connected to once it's a little skirt there. She's really cute. Their heads are, like I was talking about with Isabelle, they're quite a bit bigger than the rest of their body, which makes them really cute. And she comes with a basket. Let's see if we can get her to hold on to it. It's always tricky to put their hands in things sometimes. Maybe it'll just sit beside her. There we go. She can hold it. And she comes with a party hat. I'm wondering, maybe this is just her hat of choice, or maybe she's going to a party. Maybe it's her party. Yeah, so I can't say that I went to this store to pick one of these sets up. I really highly considered it. But I was, you know, looking at some of the other ones to get maybe more. I thought, well, you know, I can maybe pick these up a little bit later. This is an interesting piece. I haven't quite seen this piece. It's all connected before. See how this goes. It goes on here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I didn't go in planning to pick up one of these sets. And as I was standing in the long line waiting for the store to open, I was hearing a lot of people talk about that's what they were planning to get. And so I was seeing a lot of interest in it. And then when we got into the store, I went over to grab a Sonic brick head that I was hoping to pick up while I was there. And some of the Animal Crossing sets were directly underneath of that brick head. And these two ladies came rushing in, and they just, I mean, I skedaddled away very quickly because they were going to get to those sets regardless of if I was in the way or not. And they were just grabbing them like, you know, there was no tomorrow. I thought, goodness gracious. People appear to really like these sets. I'm looking for another green piece that appears to not be in here unless I put it on something. We may be missing a piece. Let me check this out. Okay, we're not missing a piece, but I put one on each end thinking, I don't know, my eyes for some reason saw that in the instructions. Doesn't go there. This goes on here. So then I got to thinking, goodness, people are really excited about these sets, and I got, you know, pretty curious about them. And when I was walking around, there happened to be this set, Isabelle's Visit on, I don't know, it was kind of away from the other ones. It was somebody had just picked it up and then left it somewhere, maybe one of the workers before the store even opened up. And so my eyes just kind of found it, and I thought, well, I tell you what, why don't we try building one and see what this is all about? And I knew that my daughter could fill me in on the details of what this little world is like. So I'm excited to see what this builds up to. I mean, it's a really adorable little world, and it's already looking like an adorable little house. Right, looks like we're building up some moles here. Trying to figure out, kind of holding it different than the instruction book, and I got confused on the way that was kind of weaving around. I've watched my daughter play some of the game, and it looks like such a peaceful little world. Maybe that's one of the attractions of it. To play, I should probably check it out. So those of you who are watching, do you play Animal Crossing? What's your favorite part? Have you been able to find and pick up any of the sets? I would imagine that people who are really into the game would actually find these sets as almost like collectors type displays or something for maybe adults that are collecting it. Our store sold out really quickly, and then I know that they were back ordered online. Okay, let me see here. Okay, here we go. Got confused there for a second. But when I was at Walmart later picking up some groceries, they actually had quite a few of them, so if you haven't been able to find them anywhere else, maybe check your local Walmart. Unless they've been discovered, you might still be able to find some. Right, it looks like we're gonna build up some pillars here to put on either side of the door. Doesn't look like it's too complicated of a house, but I think they've made it really cute. Build up some more tall walls, one on either side here. Yeah. I'd be interested to see what the game is like. I know my daughter likes to catch butterflies and dig up fossils. She mentioned to me something about there was somebody waiting on her to get the funds, I believe, to build a bridge. I was like, well, how long has he been waiting? And she's like, a while. I was like, well, shouldn't you help him out? She said, well, it takes time to collect the money. Maybe it's because all she's out doing is catching butterflies. Not sure if they translate into money for you. But they sure don't here. Maybe those are going to be like windows. Let me see. Put some. My apologies for that. Teddy Joe decided to say hi to y'all. And I think the neighbor that was walking outside the house. She's she thinks she's a fierce little girl who can take on anything, and the scary part is she actually probably would. She's very people friendly, but she makes quite a ruckus with dogs. I'm not sure if she would actually ever do anything more than just be the annoying little dog that barks at him, or if she tried to be worse than that. But one of the trainers that she worked with actually told us that we should put her in agility training, that there's special places around us that actually do agility training for reactive dogs, and it actually really helps train them. And I need to try to put a little leaf on the side. I need to try to get her into that. Just haven't had time yet. All right, push that down again. Bag number 3. I love how everything feels really kind of, I don't know, cartoonish in a really adorable way. This door is just, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel, I can't pin my thought on exactly what it is that it reminds me of. Maybe it's Toontown or something, I don't know. You know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Something like that. It's a cute little door, isn't it? And look at these windows. There's just a lot of kind of unique pieces that I haven't seen before that are making super cute little things. I like this set. I only picked up one because I didn't know. But now watch me, I'm going to keep my eyes out for the rest of them. Just because they're They're just so stinking adorable. Oh my. I should probably build this on the table, but let's see, where did that go? It sticks out over here. Okay. Let's see, I was up here working before I decided to crash things. I'm a sucker for cute little things and cartoons. Watch me, I'll be playing the game in my spare time before I blink an eye. Put up the side of the house there. Which, I need to double check. I'm assuming you can get the games on most platforms. My daughter plays on her DS, so I'm assuming the Switch would probably have them. And I could play on that. Do any of you have a favorite version of the game that maybe I should check out first? Okay, let me see. I just want to make sure I'm doing this. I think I'm going to make the chimney next. I'll put that down right there. It's just tickling me how cute this is. I suppose it's supposed to be that way, but I think I really actually struggle with really getting a feel for the sets when they're just in their box or with just pictures even online. My eyes prefer to see them in person better before I kind of really decide what I think of it. Isn't that funny? So I'll get a set thinking, oh, I don't know. And then I build it and I just can't quite get over it because it's just a whole lot better than maybe I first anticipated it to be. So they put that on the back of that so it would hold it in steady. Yeah. Oh, bright white to this set. Very snowy, pure white pieces going on here. They're really nice. That's a really cute smokestack. Oh, let's see, I've got a few more pieces to put in down here. When my son and I were building our western town that we built, we had seen online somewhere else do it. Well, hold on a second here. I have two options. They've given me two style of windows, and I get to pick which one I want to put in. I think I'm going to go for these blue rounded windows. Isn't that fun that they give you the option? Well, that just tickles me. But I like the blue rounded ones. Okay, let me dump bag number 4 and then I'll continue my story. Alright, we're going to build part of the roof here. So, anyways, about this. Oh, wait just a second. It goes there. About the smoke, we had seen it done somewhere, I believe online. Somebody had used this technique of putting the popcorns, you know, the little popcorns that the Lego bricks have, and they'd stacked them up on top of each other, and then they'd made a smokestack that came up. And so we decided to put it on our steam train that we had coming into the town, and it worked really, really well. It was super cool. The only thing was they're not necessarily designed to connect, and so you could the top rounded popcorn, I suppose, could fit into the base of another one, but it was kind of Well, it was real loose, so it can pop off real easy, and the smoke would, you know, fall around. But if you could get it on just right and then put it up for display, then it made a really stunning visual. So that was a lot of fun doing that. Although I think I was trying to get it to really be long and flow out behind the train, and I wasn't able to make it as long as I was hoping for because it was a little finicky. This is a cool little roof. So they're kind of building it up in layers using these half circles and then these smooth 1x2s to make the tiled roof. Using this mixture of brown and orange, which, oops, is actually a really nice combination. It reminds me of something, but I can't quite pin my finger on it. It actually reminds me of oranges and chocolate, but that's probably not what it was supposed to. Maybe in Willy Wonka's world, but probably not in Animal Crossing. Let's set that down for a second. Build something else here. But they're fun colors, aren't they? Let's see what this is. I wonder what this part is. And what it's gonna be. Let's see, we need this to go in here. It's interesting. Maybe it's like, well, I should probably just stop guessing because I'm probably just gonna have figured it out wrong. Patience may not be my greatest skill, although I have gotten better as I've gotten older. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Oh, I knocked over her little deer here. She probably prefers to be called by her first name and not deer, though. That's an interesting thought. What would the husband of a deer call her? Would he use the pet name deer, or would he call her something else? All right, let's see. I suppose animals don't call each other pet names, though. But in Animal Crossing, they very well might, so. Okay, so yeah, it's part of the roof that we're making here. Oh, that's cute. A little steepled. Okay, so it looks like we've got this bar attachment that's going to go into here. And there. Okay. I think I put that on wrong. I think. There we go. Yeah, okay. I did that wrong. I'm like, well, that's really weird looking. All right, here we go. We're gonna attach this right here, and then it leans back. Look at that. That's really cool, and it just lays right up against these angled pieces. We're cruising around to bag number 5. So the first thing we're gonna do is add a little bit more styling to the front of the house here. Looks like a lot of fun pieces. Excuse me, this 3 is supposed to go in the middle. And the 2 longs come in at the side. That makes more sense, doesn't it? There we go. Well, that's cute. And now we're going to turn this guy around because I think we get to build inside the house. That's what we get to do first. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up for you. It's a picture of a dog with a guitar. I'm guessing this is the one, maybe a popular poster of a popular band in town. Maybe he's all the rage. Oops. clumsy hands. All right, looks like we're gonna make the bed first. I actually noticed this when I was peeking at the box. It actually looks like it has a patchwork quilt on the bed, which is really sweet. My grandmother and my great-grandmother taught me how to quilt. And I would go back to visit them. And I would sit there and I would watch as Granny would hand quilt and piece quilts together, and they sat there and they taught me how to make small stitches and how to put it together, and they helped me make my first quilt and look at all the different patterns. So I was excited to have that heritage passed down to me, and I'm actually getting ready to start working. It'll probably take me forever, but I'm going to start working on another quilt, and it's going to be these little pigs, actually, that are in this little, I don't know, meadow. On a green background. They kind of go up and down a hill. I'm really excited to make it. It should be a lot of fun. I like how they use these curved pieces to make the base for the bed. Okay, so we have our little bed with our quilt. And I'm not sure if this is a clock or just like a, what do they call those little entryway coat hanger or stands or something? We'll see. Oh, that doesn't want to pop down, does it? All right, let's see. So I'm pretty sure this is a phone. Looks like a little cell phone. They put that there. Well, it does have a clock on top of it. Clock face. I don't think there's any stickers to this set. I think everything has been printed on. But if you know anything about me yet, that makes me happy. Not a huge fan of the stickers. Oh, we're gonna make a plant next. I love all these the little details you can make. I really love in all the modular builds when you get into the inside and all the little things that they make. I have to be honest with you, when we made our Western town, the two buildings that I had the most fun making their interiors was actually the saloon and the barber. That was a lot of fun to make the interior of those. We also had a lot of fun doing the bank. And we had like a detective's office. That was kind of fun. I'm not sure. I know this is supposed to go together, but it's being very finicky. Oh, that would be why. You should turn it around and put it in the right way. It goes together much better that way. That's like a waffle. I'm guessing this is an oven. We'll put the waffle in the oven. Maybe it's a cake, not a waffle. Or a pie. Maybe that's what it is. A lattice pie. Alright, so we have a stove. Making all kinds of little things for this house. Really cute. You know, I think there's another set that's almost like a party. I'm gonna have to look. It almost looked like maybe a birthday party. Maybe that's why she's wearing a hat. Maybe she went to the birthday party. I think that's a sink. And now we're gonna make a table. Okay, I'm thinking that they like sweets in this world. We're definitely having tea time. We got our cakes and cookies, and look at this little teapot. Isn't it cute? We're gonna stick it up on this pedestal for a base. How sweet is that? And then we have a couple of stools for them to sit at. All right, we're gonna make a book here. Maybe a book or a diary. It doesn't have anything printed on it, so I guess it has blank pages for them to write whatever they want to. All right, I'm gonna show you here. It's kind of cute. The instructions tell us that we can put our house together however we want to. So let's see. Decisions, huh? I think we'll put this by the front door. I'd like to see pictures of if you've built this set and how your house is set up. I think I'm going to put this in front of the window. You know, this is actually making me nervous and I'm going to lay the house out all wrong. Oops, nope, let's put this way. Put our little kitchen over there. Put our diary on the bed. Maybe the plant stand will go by the bed, and we'll put this right in the middle. It's kind of a tight little house. Kind of have to cram it all in there. I think that works for now. I'm sure I'll rearrange it about as often as I rearrange my house. All right, bag number 6, our final bag. Okay, so they're gonna have us work on that. Oops, my diary fell off. I'll just put it over here by them. They're gonna have us work over here to put in a couple pieces of greenery there. Oh, it's kind of tricky to get to. Yeah, my kids have fussed at me a lot over the years. Oh, I make little flowers. Because I always am rearranging the way that the house is laid out. I'm kind of big into making things really flow and be efficient, and so then it'll work for a while one way, but then either, I don't know, circumstances will change, and I'll be like, no, let's change it so that this room does better, or this room, you know, works better for this type of thing, and always rearranging, and they're like, oh no, she's at it again. I think the past year I've rearranged my bedroom multiple times to try to get it to look just like I want it to. My son told me I wasn't happy unless I was changing a room in some way. Which is probably not a good thing, but the living room stayed the same way for a while. I didn't like the way, I couldn't find a way that I liked it, because look at those double bloomed flowers. The yellow flowers are so pretty. We get to build a mailbox. Because it has 2 entrances into the living room, and it's a sunken living room. And so you have steps going in and out. And I couldn't figure out how to put the couches. Oh, we can put that right there. It's already got a letter in it. I couldn't figure out how to put the couches in a way that I was happy with, so that everybody, you know, when everybody was home, could easily see if we were watching a movie. Because it always seemed like it just wasn't a great layout because of the way everything was. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it's a fossil, I believe. Looks like a little shell. And if they want it back here. I'm not sure if that matters. If my memory serves me, my daughter told me that this piece was there to remind you to dig something up. So maybe they dig that up with that. Oh, look at these. These are fun. They're a little base of trees. Oh, I like that piece. That might be a new piece. Little roots coming out. I love trees. Lego trees all day long. But they take so many pieces to do it the way that I like to do it. So I'm still working to collect, but I would love to build a huge, just a nature scene with a huge forest and a waterfall, and maybe one day I'll be able to gather enough pieces to be able to build one to my liking. I like to build a little too big, and I need to get better at building smaller. Okay, I don't have a clue. Oh, wait, I know. I believe that if you shake the tree, things can come out, like apples, or I think that Emma told me that money can fall out sometimes if you're lucky. So I think this tree holds a little secret. How fun is that? Pays to pay attention. This is a cute way of building up a tree. It really goes with the cartoon style that the rest of it is. I think these are gonna hold our apples on. Yep, put our nice red apples on the tree. I love Lego apples. I think they're really cool. I need to try to figure out a way. I'm not sure which way to aim this apple. We'll put it on and then spin him. There we go. He looks more natural that way. Kind of tricky the way he's going in. There we go. All right, and this goes right up here on top of that. We have an apple tree. Oh, this is interesting. You know, I was wondering about this. They're having this piece, well, now I can't get it on there. They're having this piece go down on top of that. A big, tall, clear piece, but just wait a minute. It's going to help our floating present. The question is, what's going to be inside of the present? Okay, it looks like they've put... Oh! It looks like some paint, oops, and a paintbrush goes in here. How cute is that? Then it looks like we're making the bow on top. There. And then we've got this clear piece on top to be able to mimic that it's floating. Put this guy right up on top there. Isn't that cool? Now it looks like it's flying. We have these two pieces, and we're going to put those right here. So it adds to the entrance of the house, and then these are extra pieces, I'll get them out of the way. And then we can attach the garden to the front, and over here we can use that other piece to connect that. What an adorable little set. That is just really, really sweet. Well, I think I can see now why everybody was so excited and obsessed to grab them. So that was a lot of fun, and we're just going to all have to keep our eyes out for the rest of these Animal Crossing sets. I will see you again soon with another build. You have a good day.